The Big House with Darren James and Bill Kusznirczuk.
You've irritated the tool gods. You must now be smeared with the holy grease of disdain.
If you build it, he will come.
Baby, I'm your handyman.
It's the Big House on 3AW at 10:07. Bill Kusznirczuk is here in the Big House. Bill, good morning to you.
I missed you.
Oh, look, last week.
I was disappointed.
I know you were. We had a great time up in the snow, and your bad back prevented you from getting up there.
Yeah, it's coming good. It's coming good.
Good.
I've got to thank everyone that the listeners who emailed suggestions and gave me some good advice on what to do. But it's coming good. Just got to walk. It's the muscle spasms.
Yeah.
And sitting when you're sitting.
Apparently.
Hours on end.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You got to keep moving.
That's what I'm doing.
But the snow was great. In fact, you needed glasses up there. It was so bright, and it can be damaging for the eyes. And you can get all sorts of things that happen. Speaking of which, your mother has had a bit of work done. Your mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law, yes. And I've got she had cataract surgery, and she went to Dr. Alpin's, the new vision clinics. And
that's Martine Alpin's dad, Channel 9 reporter.
Well, he is an absolute superstar, this man. He's recognised nationally as a leading cataract and refractive surgeon.
Yeah.
And, I've got to just say thanks because, she was really worried about what was going to happen. He took her through what he was going to do. She sort of went into the room and then went into the room with poor vision. And came out and said, I can see with better clarity, I can do this.
You're kidding.
No, just absolutely amazing. And look, it's times like that you sort of reflect on the amazing work, the absolutely amazing work that medicos and people of that skill can do, and then you go down to the doctors, and then you go down to the nurses and associates and staff. They don't discriminate. They look after whoever comes through their door. So. Yeah. This is, if I could give away 30,000 Bataki hams, I would. So they are magnificent. So I just wanted to thank Dr. Alpins. He is a superstar. I didn't know the connection with Martine Alpins at Channel 9, but he is a star. And people, if you need someone like Dr. Alpins, get on his website, newvisionclinics.com.au, because he was magnificent.
Well, you should get your eyes checked for all sorts of things.
Absolutely.
And speaking of age, a friend of ours, Kath Kiminello, she's turning 80 today. And she is just beside herself because she's been watching the Olympics pretending that it's her birthday party. So at in London, she said, even the Queen's come out for my birthday.
Magnificent.
She saw the fireworks. She thought this is a perfect day. They're all for me.
They're putting on a big deal.
They're putting on a big show for me.
Magnificent.
Nothing to do with any Olympics at all. But happy birthday, Kath.
Lovely. 80.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Great age.
Well done. And the Olympics, I've actually enjoyed since early on this morning.
It's been great.
Well, I like the coverage on radio because everything that AW is going to be doing is going to be providing the outlet for people that are in the car, that are at work. You can have I have the radio or I'm streaming live and you can listen and pick up the important bits, and that's what you need for that coverage.
But we're talking locks today because we're in the Big House, and you can't have a big house that's not secure. And joining us is a man that has been doing it for a long time. He is a locksmith that has been Justin Fankhauser. It's a German origin name, isn't it? Obviously. What, your mum and dad or grandparents?
Way back.
Way back,
yeah.
I love the story. Tell us how you became a locksmith, because you weren't one originally.
No, I wasn't actually. I'm a pastry chef baker by trade. Yeah. And it was quite funny. I locked myself out one night many years ago, and the locksmith come out and picked open the door pretty quick.
How late was it?
It was about 7 o'clock at night on a Friday night, and I used to work in a bakery all night. Yeah. And, there we go. He got it open. I thought, geez, this is all right. He's charging me the same price that I was going to do for working all night.
So you thought, hang on, there's a buck to be made in locks.
It certainly was. So then I didn't look back. I went to school at night school and learned to become a locksmith and haven't looked back.
There's something I love about them. When I was about 4 or 5, my grandfather, Frank, said, what do you want for your birthday? I said, I want a padlock. He said, what?
A padlock.
Most kids want a truck for the sandpit. You want a what? I said a padlock with a chain.
Nice.
And he bought me one. It's the old style one with the
skeleton key,
the skeleton key.
You still got it?
And I've still got it.
Magnificent.
I still own it.
Magnificent.
And
Yep.
I've still got both keys. I don't reckon you'd be able to get a replacement key now. Yeah. But I've still got both keys. The lock, I left it in the rain once, so it's had a bit of rust over the years, but it's added to its character.
Yep.
And it still works.
Still works.
And I love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because they're an amazing thing, locks. And
They are indeed. Everyone you do work for always goes, oh, they're all mystified about them and how they work. But when you've been doing it for a while, you kind of, you get to learn them.
And I guess like anything else, technology has come into it where you're going to get... You've got the thumbprint locks now.
Yeah, certainly. There's a lot of electronic locks coming into the market now, so
You've got to,
it's changed.
Justin, you've got to tell Darren his personal favourite is the Lockwood 001.
001, yeah, it's a very
just
popular
give him
lock.
this. Just
How did
give
you
him,
remember
Just
that?
give him the news now,
Yeah.
how it's advanced and what's currently
Yeah,
available
Lockwood have
because
brought
he's
out
on board.
a Lockwood 001 Touch, it's called. So it's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, so what it does, it retrofits over the 001.
Yeah.
And it's all electronic now, so you don't need keys.
Or swipe
You're
a card.
serious?
Yeah, or swipe a card, so it's fantastic, yeah.
How much is that?
Oh, they're quite expensive. I think they're around about $380 retail. And
That's
then
not cheap.
fit off. No, but cheaper than you're locking yourself out, I suppose. And
Yeah. And so
getting
what do
caught.
you use a card to swipe?
You can use a card, or it's got a pin pad operation from the outside. So how it works is it retrofits over the 001, so it's a very clever idea. Because
Yeah.
obviously you don't have to go changing your door or filling up holes.
When you say retrofits, Justin, it's basically another case over your 001, and
That's correct.
and then you've got the keypad or a card swipe.
Yeah.
And then, Justin, you were saying that you actually, what do? You do something internally to the locking mechanism so then immediately it
Yeah,
adapts. and away
certainly.
you
Well, I
go.
think how they work is you put the key in the front, you snap it off, and then there's the model sits over the top of that, the electronic model, so that actually key engages in the lock.
Identifies it,
That's
yeah.
correct. And on the back, there's another cage that sits over the 001, which is quite large, which
Yeah.
holds the batteries, and it retrofits over the top of that. So the only really thing you need to do is obviously retrofit your strike, which is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And drill a couple of more holes, obviously, for the operation of that new lock.
Oh, right, because like lifts and cisterns,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I look at lift brands when I'm in a lift.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, there's Schindler's, there's Johnson Waygood.
Yep.
There was an interesting brand up at the Snowbill. I've forgotten what it was, but it was one I hadn't come across before. Wasn't good. I'd have stuck to the Schindler's if I was the chalet. But anyway, that's not up to me. And then you've got the Karoma, you've got the Armitage Shanks, when it comes to cisterns. With locks, you've got Lane.
That's correct, yes.
Not
Yep.
a big Lane fan. You've got Whitco.
Whitco, which is owned by Lockwood now, the same company, so there you go.
Oh, did they buy out
Yes,
Whitco?
they have, yes, yep.
Because I'm not a Whitco fan
No,
at all.
yeah.
I'm not a Whitco fan, but
Yep.
my favourite Lockwood by a country mile.
Yeah, it is. Look, it's a great lock, and we use them a lot. They're just they're versatile. They're great to use for the customer, and they're also pretty good price wise, and they're easy to fit off for us as well.
Do you have a favourite?
001, I love it.
Yeah.
Great lock.
What's the top of the range? Are there locks which are just your Lamborghini, your Ferrari of the lock world?
Look, the 001's a great lock for value for money. There's a Gainsborough trial lock out there, which is quite expensive lock, which gives you the 3 passage modes. It's got like a passage set, privacy, and deadlock on it.
Right.
Which is also a popular lock. And Lockwood have also got a Nixion lock as well, which is another electronic lock they've brought out, and it's
Right.
also a manual lock. So they're probably your top of your range kind of domestic stuff.
96900 693. Having trouble with your locks? Are you fitting out your house? Is your house key to lock? What's the difference between a deadbolt and a normal lock?
Yeah, well, a deadbolt.
What's a deadbolt? There's-
What a deadbolt is you actually physically close the door, turn the key, it throws the lock over. A dead latch means when you close the door behind you, it will latch and then deadlock. So they're the two differences.
Yeah. 96900 693. We're up and running in the big backyard. We're talking locks. We have a locksmith with us. He'll get us out of trouble here on 3AW at 10:15.
The Big House for E&S Trading, kitchen, bathroom, laundry, and Sunday night with Chris Bath. Tomorrow, 6:30 on Channel 7.
I'm your handyman.
Do you have any lock questions? If you do, we have a locksmith here, Justin Fankhauser, owner of TopLock Locksmiths up in Northcote, aren't you, Justin?
That's correct, yes.
He's here to help us out. 96900 693. If you call now, you will get straight through. People hiding their keys outside. Is that a no-no?
Look, some people do. You can buy little key boxes now that you can store a key in.
Oh,
which is
that's right.
quite
I've got
good.
one.
Yeah, fantastic.
With a combination on them.
That's correct, yep.
And they're if you think you can get in the back, you can't because it's like a little box, isn't it?
That's correct,
Self-contained.
yeah. So you can put your little code and put a key in there and you can fix it on. You get ones that can hook around your gas pole, like a little padlock style.
Yes.
Or you can also get one you can surface mount onto a brick wall or somewhere where it obviously can't get ripped off.
Handy. And I also have in mine a $50 note.
Have you really?
Just in case
yeah.
No, just in case you run out of money. and you haven't got any money for the taxi when you get
right.
home.
Yeah, too true.
You know what I'm saying?
You can just save it up and pay the taxi
Hang
driver.
on, I'll just get my 50 in my lockbox.
Saves you running upstairs.
You've just got to remember that combination.
Oh, that's happened before.
Oh, Justin.
Fumbling around in the dark. What was it again?
Justin,
Yes, mate,
what
yep.
about rekeying locks and stuff like that? I mean, people say buy a new house, or just for the purpose of security, might lose a bundle of keys.
Yeah.
Do you go and rekey locks for people and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, we certainly do. It's a lot more well known now. So when you buy a property, the best thing to do is to obviously rekey it to a new key. It saves obviously people with people that you don't know who's got keys that can use it again. So it's very popular, and obviously when people lose their keys, we need to rekey the locks to a new code. So obviously they can't be used.
To Paula, good morning. No, Paula's gone. 96900 693. There are some lines free. You'll get straight through if you call that number if you've got any lock questions. What about the colour-coded aluminium keys that are out? Are they any good?
Oh, they're quite popular. I'm not a big fan of them. We sometimes when they snap very easily in a door.
Yes.
Every time we go to do one where there's been a key broken off, I can guarantee 80% of them will be colour-coded keys. They're supposedly as strong as the normal nickel keys, but I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest.
So stick to the silver and gold.
Yeah, that's the one. So we can get colour key heads now, so for identification, so you don't need to go the full colour of the key.
Well, I get to learn the look of the cut
Do you really?
on my keys.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're a man of many facets. You really are.
Paula, good morning.
Good morning. How are you going?
Good, Paula.
That's the way. You might have answered my question just a little bit. My son's got a key to his shed, which is like, the cesspit when you're 21. But anyway, that's another story.
That's another story.
And we've lost the key. So it's a sort of I guess just like a Yale one. Do I take it out and then take it to the locksmith rather than get a locksmith to come? We're sort of up in Wallen, so we're a bit further away. What's easier to get a new key? I don't have any other key replacements. So.
No, that's fine. I used to live up that way, up at Whittlesea. My business partner used to live in Wallen, so there you go. It's funny.
There you go.
You can take it to a local locksmith to get that done if you can get if it's open.
Yes,
it can
it
be
is
a bit
open.
easier. Yeah, it'll be a bit cheaper for you to do that.
Okay.
Obviously,
so I just have to take the whole thing off, though?
yeah, you'll have to. You'll have to actually take the whole lock off. So if you have any dramas, look, you could read the local locksmith. He might give you a bit of a hand over the phone to take it off.
You don't happen to still visit relatives in Wallen by
Yeah, we do. We're funny enough. Like I said, my business partner's family comes from there. So look, feel free to give us a ring at the Top Lock during the week, and we can come and help you out.
What's your number, Justin?
Yeah, it's 1300 679 979.
679 979 with the 1300.
That's correct. Yes.
Thanks, Paula. To
Thank
Jenny,
you.
good morning.
Yeah, look, I want to know about these keypad locks because sometimes I need to let people into the house, but I don't want them to give them a key that they could then copy. Is it possible to have both I've got the 001 on the front door, but to put in a keypad lock that I can change so that once they've given the things come in and gone, I
you
can
put in your
then
new
change
code.
the code.
Yes.
Clever.
Yeah, you can do that. We've done that quite often, actually. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. With the 001, you could put it onto a restricted profile. So what that means is you're the only one that will have a key or be able to get the key cut.
Nice.
So, which is
Wow.
fantastic. So if you give it to someone like a cleaner or a gardener and they do leave the property, they give you that key back, you're assured.
Then they
haven't had it
can't
cut.
go and
No,
get
they
it
can't.
cut.
Very clever.
Yeah.
then also-
how do you get it recut then?
Sorry,
How do-
it will be with the restricted profiles. Every locksmith has their own restricted profile. So how it works is obviously we go out, put our system in.
Yeah.
The customer gets a signatory form to actually allow us to cut their keys.
Right.
And obviously we don't cut them without their permission. So
Clever.
If someone rings up and says, I want a key cut, we can't cut it without
So don't worry about keypads. Get your restricted profile key,
we
Jenny.
can do that, but
Clever.
also you can fit
Yeah.
a secondary lock above it if you wanted to for a cleaner, so you can disengage your 001, obviously pull the latch back, and then use the digi-lock above for when your cleaners and that
Oh,
come in.
Justin, that was a double.
See?
That was a double banger.
There
Two
we go.
good bits of advice.
You got an answer for everything
That's
here,
it.
Justin.
I hope so, anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny. To Mary, good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if you've answered this already. I've lost the keys to the doors of an antique piece. It's a chiffonnier. It's about 180 years old. Can you make new keys for that in keeping with the locks which are there?
You can. Look, it is quite difficult with the old-style keys. Sometimes they've got like a warded profile in there, which could be a little bit difficult. Whereabouts do you live?
In Chelsea.
In Chelsea, yeah. Look, most locksmiths will come out and have a bit of a look and see if they can do it. You will find someone that will do it. It's a bit of specialised to get that kind of thing sorted. But look, as I said, you can get it done.
Thank you very much indeed.
Good
No
on
worries.
you. An email from Harry of Hoppers Crossing. What happens if there's a power failure with these electronic locks? Can you get a manual override?
Yes, most of them have a manual override, but most of them now run off a battery.
Right.
So it's not hooked up to the mainstream. Especially with domestic style of locks, they're all battery operated.
Yeah.
Where commercial buildings are obviously
power.
power.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for that. Thanks for that email. To Dennis, good morning.
Morning, last time caller, first time listener, Darren.
Good on you.
And just in relation to the lady who called before about the letting a cleaner or someone in,
Yeah.
the Lockwood 001 Touch, you can put a code into that has a time lapse on it.
yeah, that's correct.
Oh,
Really?
magnificent.
Oh, it's getting
Dennis.
better.
Magnificent.
How does the time code work?
You just set it for how many hours you want it to stay on.
Oh, nice.
But back to me, my question. To the locksmith, thumbprint and fingerprint locks in a mortise lock situation.
Yep.
Is there anything around that's worthwhile considering, or is it all junk?
Yeah, look, that's a good question. Look, I believe the fingerprint locks have got a little bit more movement to go with the quality of them, to be honest. I have put some on in the past. A lot of them come out of Asia. There is some models now that are obviously a lot better than what they were. But personally myself, look, we don't fit a lot of them off it, to be honest. We're more in the digital side's probably the best way to go.
Thanks for the call. Do you install or maintain, like the systems we have here, everyone's got a credit card, and you touch the area where you've got
The swipe
access,
cards,
the
yeah.
swipe cards, and just touch it, and then the door opens?
We've got a security guy that helps us out with that kind of stuff in our business.
Yeah.
So we do a bit of that kind of stuff. So it's very popular in the commercial kind of industry with card swipes and restricted keys and stuff like that. But yes, we do sort that out.
How clever are our listeners?
They're
that was
right on. He was I might hire that guy with the 001. He kind of knew a bit about it.
Yeah.
I never knew
With
about
the time
that
delay thing.
That is sensational.
Yeah, it's amazing what now
Very
with the technology, it's starting to get really, really
Yeah. What about safes?
Yeah, we do safe work. Yeah, I've actually just hired a new guy now that's done a lot of safe work, and I used to do a fair bit in a previous job. I used to do a lot of the combo changes for the banks and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, and openings. But once again, it's very specialised. Locksmithing's very funny. There's so many fields you can go into and specialise in. So if we don't do it inside our business, we definitely know someone that can help.
Justin, there are many things that Darren and I enjoy doing. And I think you've just found a new one. I wouldn't mind going to a locksmith convention.
Oh, I'd love it.
Could you imagine
Yeah,
it?
I'd be into
It's
it.
quite sad, and I actually look at every lock I see when I walk down the street. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
well,
you kind of
I'm with you.
get
Well,
right into it.
I can't believe I forgot Yale. That's one of the most
you
famous
don't see many
ones.
Yales anymore. They're English locks. So,
English lock, yeah.
yeah.
Because they were popular when I was a kid, I think. It was either Yale or Lockwood, usually.
Yeah.
Aileen joins us. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. I'm just looking at my little padlock here on the gate as I return from holiday. Somebody's put a padlock on my gate.
Oh, you're kidding.
I have no key, no nothing.
Yep.
And it's very frustrating. It's the back gate, not the front.
Now, how big's the padlock? Is it big or is it a little one?
It'd be sort of like an inch by an inch.
Okay, look, yeah, as I said, you can sometimes, depending on the quality, you cut them off with bolt cutters because they're not hardened steel.
Mm.
But if not, you'd have to get a locksmith out to pick it open for you.
Oh, I see. So it can be done.
It can be taken off, yes.
But
certainly.
who'd want to put a lock on your gate?
Oh, look, I could cry when I think of it. How come, you know?
Some people get kicks out of funny things, I think.
Yeah, I know. Trying to lock you in.
I get really frustrated to think that I'm so careful, and then as I return from holiday, that no one's owning up to it.
No, I bet they're not.
Have you got your suspicions?
Oh,
Why don't you name a few names here on the radio?
Oh,
Let's flush them
Take
out.
them down.
I thought you really enjoyed your clients.
No, hey, Aileen, thanks for calling. I've got for you, hold the line, I've got a double pass to the Truffle Bar. You can indulge your senses with thanks to La Dolce Italia. It's on at the Royal Exhibition Buildings in Carlton on August the 10th to the 12th.
Lovely.
Hold the
Nice,
line
good.
and we'll get you along there. On 3AW at 10:30.
Now, this is The Big House.
Justin Fankhauser, owner of TopLock Locksmiths, is with us. Do you look at the movies where you just see crooks safe cracking and using the headset?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Italian
it's quite
Job?
comical, actually. Yeah.
And all, is it comical?
Oh, Very much so. You can't open them that quick, I'll tell you.
Because there's the blonde girl in the Italian Job.
And there's the bomb going off or something in the background.
Yeah,
and
that's
you've got
right.
Like 5 seconds to get it open.
Is it all just the movies?
It's all the movies,
It's
mate.
all the movies. Ray joins us. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I was just hearing about some of the interesting things that the locksmith's talking about. I've got a lock on my back door, which is, I think, a Gainsborough.
Yes, yep.
And it's a bit of a nuisance because to unlock it, you have to put the key in.
Yep.
When you take the key out, it locks it again.
Oh, okay.
So if you come in from the outside, you have to use the key to unlock it, and then you can't close the door again unless you take the key out and put it back on the inside.
That sounds a bit bizarre, yeah. So is it fairly old Gainsborough lock, or is it fairly modern, or?
Oh, I think it's quite an old one. It was in the house when we moved in 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
I just wonder whether it's something that can be changed over to an ordinary key lock. So that
Yeah, you could. Yeah, look, I'd have to see it, of course. Without seeing, it's a bit hard to tell, but everything can be retrofitted, or we can obviously put locks above, or that kind of style of thing. So, yeah, it can be fixed.
Oh, so basically you'd have to replace it then, would you?
Well, yeah, depending on what style it is, and without seeing, it's a bit hard. But, yeah, look, it could be done.
And there's nothing wrong, Ray. I mean, look, the way I figure it, with locks, they've got to be working properly and functional to provide the security you need. Otherwise, you're in trouble in a number of different ways. And I reckon if you just get onto it, replace the locks, key-alike system,
that's correct,
then you've got. I mean, you need not to be hassled about locks around home. That's the big thing, Ray. And even things like maintenance of locks and all that sort of stuff. Really, those days are gone. You just sort of leave it to professionals and just get it done. And
that's
see you
correct.
later.
And I think another thing too, a lot of listeners don't know that most insurance policies now state you have deadlockable doors and windows.
Yes.
So what that means, if someone does break into the property, they can't just open the door and walk out with your TV.
And just a conventional home, Justin, if you had to go in and change locks, say as a Lockwood 001, for example, change locks, key alike, what sort of time frame are you in and out?
Depending, if it's a 2 or 3 door rekey, shouldn't take much more than half an hour to 40 minutes.
Well, that's good.
So you're in and out pretty quick, and it's all fixed up.
To Russell, good morning.
Hey, yeah, how are you?
Good, thanks, Russell.
Yeah, look, I just heard that lady on the phone there before. With that lock, it must be very frustrating hearing that locked. I've got a team of guys that are actually out on the road do enforcement work, and they carry bolt cutters, or some of them do.
Yeah.
If she's not too far away, I don't mind sending one of my guys around early next week to cut it off for her.
Oh, good on you.
Good work, mate. That's great.
Well, she was in Chelsea, I think.
Chelsea, it was.
Chelsea,
Yeah. If it's a small shack, you should get it off.
Well, actually, we would have her number. We would have her number because we got her details because I gave her that prize. So you hold the line, and we'll get you her number.
Right, yeah, that'd be great.
Well done,
Does that
Russell.
make sense? I
Good
think
work,
that all
mate.
works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it made perfect sense.
Does that all come together?
Perfect
I think
sense.
so. Yeah.
Perfect.
Hold the line, Russell, and we'll get you your number. To Ralph, good morning.
Good morning.
Ralph.
I've got a house I built in the 1950s, and in the 2 terrace doors in the lounge, there's a lock. It's rebated. The doors are rebated.
Yes, yep.
And I've got an old rebated lock which is cast and it's worn out.
Okay,
Can you replace them?
You can, depending on the age of it. Sometimes you can find locks that will retrofit into that style of lock. What we tend to do, we get a lot around the Northcote area, is we put a secondary lock above it. So normally with the old style mortise locks, you'll have handles on the door that you key lock.
Yeah, this has got a handle on it.
Yeah, well, that's great because you can use that as your passage set. And what we can do is put a new modern lock above that lock, which is a better way of going anyway because it's better to have a better lock and fresher lock with new keys.
You happy with that, Ralph?
On way.
Good on you. All right, thanks to Ron. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thanks, Ron.
Just an important thing which people have spoken about over the years. I used to go and see a mate who had young kids, and I'd knock on his door first thing of the morning. He'd open his door and he'd say, "Hold on, I've got to go and find the key for the security screen."
Yep.
And off into the house he'd go searching for it. So locks are designed to keep the baddies out, not to lock yourself in.
Not for the goodies in, yeah.
So make sure you keep all your keys in your doors and your windows while you're in the house.
Yeah, that's true, but don't leave them in there when you leave, because we go to a lot of places where people leave keys in the back of the door. So normally what I say with deadlocks, if it's a key deadlock and you need to key lock it, when you're at home at your own, you leave the key in the back of the door. So if there's a fire at night time, you can escape. So, but the 001 dead latch is a great system because actually you can deadlock the door, but when you actually re-enter the property, it undeadlocks it, which is great.
Yes.
A lot of people can lock themselves in.
But not the old 001s.
No, the old ones don't do it. It's about there's a green indicator light now, which is even better. So when you actually
That's
deadlock
right.
it, you can see it's deadlocked, and when it's non-deadlocked, you can see
Justin,
that.
Justin, you've got a new apprentice.
Oh no,
here.
he's just. I'm going to hire him. I reckon.
He's on top of it.
No,
Yeah.
I tell you what. I've had experience on both occasions. I've locked myself in my house.
Yep.
Because I deadlocked it. And then left the keys outside or something. Did something like that. Yeah, that's right. You leave the key in the door outside.
Yes.
And it's locked on the inside. So you go in and it slams behind you. So the keys are in the door on the outside and you're on the inside.
In the security lock with combination and the $50.
That's right. See, I can't get to the combination because that's outside and the $50. So I've had to climb out the window
to get back in.
To get back in.
There you go.
So then I nearly died because I put the new Lockwood 001 on my outdoor studio, aka the shed.
Yeah, too true. Yeah, the man's room.
The man's room, the man cave.
Yep.
And I've nearly died because I've done the same thing, and I knew that it was deadlocked.
Yep.
But because I'd opened it up with the new lock, it had undeadlocked itself.
So you.
So I could get out because on the outside studio, aka the shed, it's got that crim safe on the windows.
Oh, so that's
if I'd have been locked in,
to get through that.
I was in for life.
Yeah, too true.
There's next week's promo.
Oh, I've had some funny we've had some funny lockouts in our time at TopLock. I can guarantee you that.
There would have been people locked outside naked and all sorts of stuff.
The best one I had was about 6 years ago. I had a guy ring me from Kew.
Yeah.
A guy was on his balcony locked out. That was fine. I arrived and there was water coming down the steps in the actual flats like a waterfall.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. So I picked open the door. Kid you not, there was a foot of water in the place. What he did is he put his sink on.
Yeah.
Put his plug in.
Yeah.
Went outside to check his clothes on the balcony. Of course, the door's closed.
Oh,
no. Taps on.
No.
Water's going over the side.
No.
And what, he was nude?
No, he wasn't nude. He was he was clothed, but water.
Water everywhere.
I picked up his door and then give him a hand for half an hour trying to get all the water out.
Yeah, Friday nights and Saturday nights busy of you for people going out on the squirt?
Yeah, look, I was working last night. The boss even worked, so I did 4 jobs last night, 4 lockouts. So
did you?
Winter time quietens down a bit, but summertime's great because everyone gets out on the terps and they lock themselves out and do all kinds of stupid things.
What time? What sort of cost is it to come out to do a get in?
Yeah, during the day.
At weird hours, you know.
Yeah. Like during the day, locksmiths will charge around about 80 to 110 marked for a lockout.
Yeah.
After hours goes from about 140 to 200, depending on the time frame.
Well, as it should. 1 o'clock in the morning. You're getting in your car. You're using it. Your expertise. You're coming to provide a service. $250. I tell you what, that's little price to pay, particularly if you can cover your tracks and make sure you get home and your wife's happy and that you've been sleeping for the last 4 hours.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, all
exactly right. I think it comes down to the discretion of the locksmith at night times with lockouts. It's the prices differ a bit, but just ring around and see what you can do to get the best price.
What about cars? Do you deal with cars, or is that another specialist area?
Yeah, and look, I spoke to Bill about the cars. It is a bit specialised now. From about 1998 to 2000 onwards, it's all transponder now. So what that means is you actually got to electronically send a signal from the key to the motor to allow the car to start. It's not just cutting the key anymore. So it is very specialised. We do a little bit of the Holden Ford stuff, but there's guys in our industry that actually specialise in that style of work.
Like your Volvo.
Yeah, too true. Don't lose the keys in your Volvo.
Oh,
the
no.
Volvo.
You'll have to do some overtime to get that one
It's
fixed,
high tech.
Really?
Because I saw you had one that's keyless entry, like you can walk up to and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
You've got this little fob. They're really expensive to replace.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Well, my motor
High
scooter is... you just have the key in your pocket.
Correct.
And if you're within 20 feet,
Yeah,
you
you
just get on and start it up and ride it away.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're 20 feet away, it locks itself.
Yeah,
it's changed a lot now. Like the old style keyways were very easy. You used to pull them apart and key them up, but now obviously everything's transponder. So just make sure when you buy a car, make sure you got 2.
Yeah. On 3AW, it's 17 to 11.
The Big House for E&S Trading, kitchen, bathroom, laundry, and Sunday night with Chris Bath. Tomorrow, 6:30 on Channel 7.
I'm your handyman.
A mate of mine's having a garage sale today. I think I did it early, but in case I didn't, I'm going to do it again. You know Nespresso? He works for Nespresso. That company, the George Clooney, the little capsules of coffee and stuff. That business has expanded by 50% in the last 12 months.
We've bought a couple for work.
There you go.
They're great.
There you go.
They're great.
They're
and
brilliant.
Good coffee. Is there any chance there could be one at his garage sale? What's he got?
I'm not sure. Good question.
What's he got at the garage
well,
sale?
I think he's moving. It's at Rowville at 62 Taylor's Lane in Rowville today and tomorrow. He is downsizing. It's a big garage sale, so there's furniture, homewares. Doesn't say coffee machines, but there's a lot down there.
Yeah, well,
to Elizabeth, good morning.
Hi, Elizabeth.
How are you?
Look, I'm just ringing to give a bit of a warning to people about locks in their bathrooms and toilets. I had the situation where both the locks on a bathroom and a toilet, the internal housing collapsed. There was a base metal of some sort, and it collapsed. And even though the door wasn't locked, when we shut the door, it just collapsed all around it, and we were locked in. And I heard in the area that the same situation occurred with several people, and they were, very distressed being locked inside their toilet and bathroom. There's no way to get in or out. I actually had to swing off the guttering, get up on the cupboard, get out the window and swing off the guttering and drop down.
Wow, jeez.
You could have been in the Australian Olympic gymnastics team with that performance.
Yes, well, what I just want to give people a warning about the locks on bathrooms and toilets. And, if you're on your own, which I was, I could have been locked in there forever. Lucky I sort of thought what to do about it, but older people would be stuck in the cold weather. I won't give you the name of the brand, but it was a well-known brand, and unfortunately, it's a good brand, but unfortunately they must have got a dud lot.
Yeah. Is it a new property or is it an old one? Or
It's now 19 years old. They did the whole area with the same brand.
Yep.
But this lot was a dud lot. So and I just think bathrooms and toilets shouldn't have locks on them anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Funny you should say. They had one last night. The lady was locked out in Fitzroy. It collapsed on her. It's the same thing.
Is that right?
So we got it open for her, and we disengaged the snib on the back. So I'm not a big fan of bathroom locks myself. To be honest, if the kids are in there and they lock it and you panic and something goes wrong,
for sure.
Better off just having a passage set on the door.
To Rick, good morning.
How you going?
Yeah, good, Rick.
Just a quick question. I've got a V Commodore, and I'm trying to buy a door lock. I'm a surfer, and the locks, the keys obviously have electronic heads on them. They don't go real well in the water.
Yep.
So, and I've just been going around all the locksmiths, and everyone will only sell me a lock with a head unit. Do you do just the actual lock that you can open the door with, not start the car? You leave the head, the good key in the console, and basically just unlock the door. But so you don't have to hide your key, on the wheel and under the guard and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, so in other words, you want to change around your door lock and keep the existing ignition lock in there and just put a separate door lock in so you can take your key. Is that correct?
Yeah, just so I can take it out in the water. So you just want the steel part of the key. Open the door. You get in and you use your electronic key to start your car.
No, that can be done. Look, my business partner does all the cars for our business, so look, feel free to give us a ring on Monday and he can give you a bit of a rundown.
Good on you. Thanks, Rick. To Margaret, good morning.
Oh, hi. I have a very old house with the old Victorian internal locks in them.
Yep.
Now, I want to know, can you, in Bunnings you can't buy them to replace them because they don't make them big enough.
Yep.
They're very heavy and... Can you buy new ones, or can you have the old ones refurbished?
You can. There is some specialist shops around that you can buy the old style locks. So like where I live in Northcote, there's a couple in Clifton Hill that can help you out. Are they the big surface mounted ones that sit on the door there, or are they like internally into the door?
They go inside the door, and they're very heavy, and they go in a long way.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can get some replacements for them. Look, most of those style of locks, it's a bit hard because they've changed over the years with their setbacks of the handles and the keyhole. But there is some specialist places, and if you ring a locksmith, they could also have a look for you.
Thanks for the call. To Peter, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Darren and Mr. Locksmith.
Justin. Justin, it is, yeah.
Justin and...
I've been called Burst, don't worry.
yeah, that's right. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm interested in external locks that have the capacity of a deadlock, but I just don't like deadlocks because of they're unforgiving in a panic situation.
Yep.
And do you recommend an internal, threefold question, and an internal system, contrary to what the woman was saying, I'm actually all for an internal locking system that's pleasant and discreet, but not, like a Pentridge look about it.
Yep, that's fine for like a bathroom, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You can... Yeah, go on, sorry, continue on.
And... do you agree that you need doors to complement the locks? Because how many times have you seen on TV where there's, the fingerprint stuff and a big boot mark right next to the door?
Yeah, well, it's a threefold question. So the bathroom one, you can get separate locks. So what you can do is put a passage set on and get an internal snib lock supplied and fitted above it, which is quite popular. It doesn't look too, it doesn't look stupid. You can open them up with a bit of a, like a flat-bladed blade at the front.
I like that thinking. Very lateral. I like that thinking.
Yeah, look, it's a lot of people don't realise that there's a lot of locking mechanisms out there you can choose from. Look around and have a look on the net and stuff like that. Just in regards to the deadlocks, is that with the outside of your property, did you say, or was it the...
Yeah. We're getting a new property, and I've got to address the problem of external doors with a good capacity, because there'd be good doors, but I want a good lock that has the capacity of a deadlock, but without the like I said, that pentridge feel about it.
No, look, 001's the way to go. Look, as I said, they've got an anti-release deadlock on the back.
That's
so
right.
Once you enter that building, you can't lock yourself in unless you physically do it with a key.
That's right. That's a great system.
Yep.
Thanks for the call. Paul, good morning.
Oh, good morning, gents. G'day, Justin. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. I was just wondering, remote control keys, rather than just the actual key itself, do they work and are they expensive?
Okay, in what capacity are you talking about there?
Like your car, on your car, but you can do it through the house as well.
Yeah, you can. There is a few brands out. Well, Lockwood have got a Lockwood Nixion out, which is actually like an alarm kind of style remote control. So you can walk up to the door. It's got a key override as well, which is fantastic. So if the batteries go flat, but you can just walk up now and turn it on and off like an alarm.
Wow.
And in you go.
What's it called?
It's a Lockwood Nixion.
Nixion?
Nixion.
Nixion.
For Nixion, yep.
Nixion, okay. Thanks, Paul, for the call at 6 to 11.
Now, this is The Big House.
And at 2 to 11, Jenny, good morning.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi. Justin, I need a key cut for a safe. It has a combination and a key, but I only have one key, and it's a lumpy key.
A lumpy key, so it's like an old-style skeleton key, is it?
I have no idea what a skeleton key is, so I don't know.
Is it a fairly new safe, or is it old?
It's old, and it's got lumps on one side.
Lumps on one side. Okay, so I'd say it'd be a skeleton key. Yeah, you can get them cut.
Bit like my left leg.
You can go to a specialist locksmith shop to get it cut if you've got an existing key. It's probably the best way to go. We can also come out on site, obviously, and have a bit of a look at it. But, for cost effectiveness, if you've got a spare key, you can get it cut at a shop.
Thanks for the call to Greg. Good morning.
Morning, guys. Great show and great subject. Our kids are very hard on door locks, where they sort of run at it and flick it down, and I'm forever fixing or replacing springs from other doors that I've ratted that we don't necessarily open. I've got a passage set here that I tried to rewind a spring just with normal wire, but it didn't work. Where can we buy springs? Do locksmiths sell them, or do I have to go to a specialist spring maker?
Oh, look, depending on what style of lock it is, it sounds like to me it's probably time for a new one, I reckon.
Yes.
These days it's just as cheap to buy a new passage set and put them on.
Oh, you obviously sound like you like us tinkering around, Greg, but maybe give Justin a ring. Your number is 1300 679 979, 1300 679 979, toplock.net.au. Look it up and you see Justin do a nice little audio visual.
Yeah, great stuff. How to choose a good locksmith, tips for keeping your house safe, all that sort of stuff, so get on.
Thanks, Justin. See you soon.
Good on you. Thanks very much for having us, guys.